lack of perspective.
Hey everybody, it's me, Felicia. I just wanted to come here because this story, as I was just reading through, just for myself. It wasn't anything that I was trying to pull up, but somebody sent it to me and I was just reading it just for me. And I thought to myself, my God, this is the worst thing that anybody could ever see. How many of us have ever decided that we just want to use natural flavorings and seasonings in our food? Some of you have even gone to the extent to not even eat out anymore. You know what I mean? You don't go and stop when you're coming home from work and pick up something quick. If anything, maybe you've left a crock pot of delicious food cooking for your family so that even though whether you're male or female, you don't have a lot of time to cook, your family can still have something with some substance to eat. So you decide to season your food with, things like, cumin or maybe garlic powder. Well, this Consumer Reports just found arsenic, lead, and cadmium in some popular spices. So the story was published on November the 11th, and I'm going to play this right here for us so we can hear it, okay? Hello to everybody, by the way. Funny how it isn't giving us what we need to see as a whole, right? Funny how it's not giving us what we needed to see as a whole because it did have some blurs there. But the story comes out of Eating Well, and it says, it's no secret that some spices can have serious health benefits and turn a flavorless meal into something to write home about. Now, we all love the anti-inflammatory power of turmeric and the blast of flavor that a sprinkle of chili powder or garlic powder offers. But a new investigation from the Consumer Reports, and the link is in the description to this story, is making us think twice about the spices that we use each day. Consumer Reports tested about 126 dried herbs and spices for the presence of arsenic, lead, cadmium, mercury, and salmonella. The assorted spices include multiple brands of basil, black pepper, chili powder, coriander, cumin, curry powder, garlic powder, ginger, oregano, paprika, saffron, sesame seed, thyme, turmeric, and white pepper. While none of the bottles tested positive for mercury or salmonella, several bottles had concerning levels of heavy metals. Those findings may especially concern those who cook for young children, as the sister publication to Eating Well has reported. Any amount of cadmium, lead, or arsenic is toxic to children's brains. While it's not feasible to eat a completely contaminant-free diet, as we all know in this world today, those cooking for children may want to stick with the spices on the list that were free of heavy metals. More on that later, the story says. The investigation found that not one brand was immune from containing heavy metals. The brands tested included popular brands such as Spice Island, Target, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Badia, Walmart, Costco, Tones, and McCormick, among others. Organic spices also tended to test positive at the same rate as typical herbs and spices. The spices could land in 4 categories, ranging from no concern to high concern. All of the thyme and oregano tested was worthy of at least some concern based on the Consumer Reports threshold. Basil and ginger only had one brand in the no concern category. In both cases, the brand Simply Organic got the green light from the investigators, and you can view a full list here. Again, the story is down below in the description. I recommend clicking onto it and then going inside of the story and clicking right here in this area. We are going to click it in a few minutes, but I didn't want to divert from the story right now. The good news is that cooks can sub fresh ingredients for those dried spices. Just pick up an herb plant from your local store or to replace some of what you've got on the list, which will be the thyme, the oregano or basil flavor in your next herbaceous recipe. And you can typically find fresh ginger in the produce section at the grocery store, and you could even make a project out of it, drying the herbs yourself. Certain herbs and spices are critical to enjoying your favorite meal, and think about the delicious pinch of oregano in your carnitas rub or the coriander in your favorite masala spice blend. Now, just aim for spice brands that scored well during the Consumer Reports investigation, like Simply Organic, Penzies, to stay on the safe side. I thought I would bring that to you because even though it's a really short story, and even though it may not be for, maybe, just we're thinking, oh, well, only women do the cooking. Well, we all know that's not true. There are some men that cook far better than women. The man I married cooks far better than I do on some things. But the seriousness of this is that here we are, pulling our money together, pulling our pennies together to purchase things that have some substance for our family. We're actually spending more for some of those dried herbs. And it has the audacity to even be tainted in that regard. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to admit this to you. A while ago, I had purchased I think it's a large thing of the yellow curcumin, and I bought it, but something told me that just something wasn't right, and I never thought anything of it. I thought that I was just tripping. You know how sometimes you say, you're just over cautious. Just go ahead and eat it. That, I think, is why this story outraged me so, because in my gut, I remember that time thinking, gee, this was really inexpensive for this. And wow, now let's put into our minds the fact that we just got through talking about how the Father wanted us to protect our minds, to protect our thought processes, to keep our minds stayed on Him, because He'll keep us in perfect peace when He does that, when we do that, right? But remember yesterday, in tandem with that, we also talked about the fact that the Father had shown me that what we're eating cannot be necessarily a good thing. We have to make sure that we're monitoring what we're eating, what we're putting in our bodies, some of the supplements, because we were looking at the ginkgo biloba tree. Do you remember that? How that beautiful big tree would give out all of that beautiful foliage every year, but it has the capacity to strengthen different parts of your body, specifically your mind. Do not take for granted when the Father shows you something in the Spirit, okay? Because as you can see, He showed me something about that. He showed me something about that. I sort of shook it off. And this is the reason why I'm bringing it to you now, because had I thought about it then, and had I given it the attention that I deserve it needed at that time, I would have found that there was something wrong with that. But for the Consumer Reports to come out and show the arsenic and the lead, as well as the cadmium in some of the popular spices, that's not cool, because here you are doing a good thing. We're not taking our kids out. We're not letting them eat the people meat that you can get at McDonald's and other places like that. We're literally stopping and making those delicious soups and those homemade bean dishes and homemade green vegetable dishes for our family. And here you find something like this. Here's what I'll say, and I'm probably sure that once I start to read your comments before we close, that I'll find a lot of people saying exactly what this article stated, and that was, dry your own herbs. Take the basil and take the thyme and take the rosemary and all those things, tie them together, or tie them separately, I should say, turn them upside down and dry them yourself. and then you'll know exactly what you're using, right? You hope you do. Maybe you can even start by having a box in your home that you can grow your seasons and your spices and your natural herbs and things of that nature in, right? I do purchase, but you know what? I'm not even sure if it is organic because it's just what they say. But I do get organic organic garlic because I love it, and organic ginger because I love it. But who knows if it's organic? In any case, I digress. I believe that the Father would bless us because we didn't know. That's what I think. And I think that that's a major component to saying your grace over your food. You know, Father, thank you for this food. I pray that anything that's in this that is meant to harm will not have any effect on me according to your word. And Father, I thank you that no weapon formed against myself or my family will prosper. How about that? Okay, but now that we know, we do have to have our eyes even open a little bit more, right? Perhaps you'll think that just recently, gee whiz, I've been eating healthy and I've been using all these healthy spices. Why am I not able to recall things in tandem with what's going on when you go outside the house, right? Why can I not recall things? Why are my children not being able to recall? And they're so young. Well, this is all part and parcel of the plan. It is. It's all part and parcel of a plan to rob you of your memory, to rob you of your mind, to get you in the doctor's chair, telling somebody that you have a problem with your memory. Come to find out, it's things like this. So family, continue to bless your food. Continue to not only give him thanks, but continue to put yourself in the remembrance of letting him know that anything that's not supposed to be in this, please remove it and make it null and void. He can do it. He can definitely do it. Before we close, as promised, I'm going to see the full list here. And I want for us to take a look at it. I'm going to highlight this on the other side, and I'll copy it and put it where we can all see it, okay? Because what happens with StreamYard is it does not necessarily move it over when I do. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't want to join anything, so I'm going to click that off. And whoo, thank goodness there's nothing jumping on this page, any of those pop-up things. All right, so here it says the CRs, okay, herbs and spices test results. All right, look at all the red dots. No concern is simply organic basil, but look at all the red dots. Some even have 2 with moderate concern. Now, we don't see the 3, which is high concern on this list, but as we go down, we'll probably gain more information together. So it shows that simply organic basil has a green check, so there's no concern, but here are the ones that do have a concern. 365 from Whole Foods. What about that? And don't they charge you a lot if you order from them through Prime? Yeah, they do. So 365 Whole Foods basil is red. Great Value, well, from Walmart is red. McCormick, which is a name that most of us grew up with, is red. Simple Sausage Maker ground basil is red. Lighthouse freeze-dried basil is red. Morden, which is another name that we all grew up with that we have grown to trust for the salt, shows red, as well as Spice Islands. The black pepper all have green marks. Okay, and that's for most of the ones that they've looked at. El Guapo, Tones, Badia, Casablanca, Trader Joe's, Kirkland's Signature, Simple Organic, Pensy, Great Value, and McCormick. The Chile powder, the only one that had a problem was Great Value from Walmart. The coriander, looks like they all had green marks. Cumin, looks like it had green marks up until, looks like Bolner's Fiesta, cumin, ground comino, Badia ground cumin. I buy that on occasion. That's terrible. Great Value, Walmart, and Trader Joe's organic cumin. And cumin is one of those things that we take to help with the kidneys. It also helps with inflammation and a few other things. But if we've been buying, like myself, this Badia, if we've been buying this, then we've been doing ourselves a great disservice. But don't you know it's good? Hallelujah, that he would even allow us to find this. That one of our mods, Rachel, sent this in our email. And you can do the same thing if you find something that you want the collective and the family to know. I consider all of you family. If there is something that you want the family to know, please send it. This is saving a lot of people from purchasing this stuff. You can send it to Felicia at FeliciaLockhart.com. Now, the curry powder from all of the brands, it looks like they all had green marks. Even the Badia, which is the Jamaican style curry powder, okay, the Caribbean Rhythms mild curry powder, Happy Belly, and a few other brands. All right, there's none here that have it. Green marks all. Phew, goodness gracious, aren't we happy for all of us people who use garlic powder, not garlic salt, but all the garlic powder. Look at the ginger. My Lord. My Lord. 365 Whole Foods just looks like they're, I'm just saying it personally, garbage. Great Foods, a great value from Walmart, LaFleur, Tones, Badia, the Spice Islands, the Morton Bassett, McCormick, they all ought to be ashamed of themselves. Oregano, there's not one in the ones that they tested. And all 7 of the ones that they tested, nothing came out good. And then you've got this one from LaFleur that has 3. And let's look at the key again. The key for 3 was what, you guys? The key for 3, high concern. 2 is moderate concern. Some concern is 1, but high concern, all right, is where that comes in. And that's for the ginger, right? Oregano, I should say. LaFleur, high concern. Everything else from Simple Organic, McCormick, Pinsy's, Spice Island, Badia, Sadaf, all of these have red. Don't buy it. Get your own. Oh, this just makes me so angry to see that they are really just trying to do everything that they could. So, Father, right now, I just pray that each and every weapon that they would attempt to form against us would not prosper. That, Father, you would take it as a mirror, put it on them and turn it back around. Everything that they would attempt to do against your children, those who trust and love you, let them reap what they sow immediately. Immediately, Father, because you've been a protector of your children, and I thank you that we found this information out. But woe unto them that would do any harm to your little ones, for it is better that they would tie a millstone about their neck than to harm one of your little ones. Better that they tie a millstone about their neck and jump into the sea. Woe unto them. Oh, make it immediate. Make it immediate, Father. This is heinous. Look at the paprika, and how many of us take paprika to put it on top of our potato salads, or even our deviled eggs, or however you want to call them, angeled eggs or deviled eggs or whatever you want to call them. We use paprika. But look at this. You've got 4, Great Value, Badia, and Pride. It looks like Zezd, sweet Hungarian style paprika, and McCormick. Now, the saffron looks good from everybody. The sesame seed looks good from everybody. But Lord have mercy, ain't none of the time worth a coin. Spice Islands, Morton Bassett, McCormick, Tones, Happy Belly from Amazon. Shame on them. Shame on them for selling this. Shame on them. Look at this. Oh, this is the one that I had the feeling about. This is the one that I had the feeling about. Is it the brand that I have? I'll have to check the brand, but it was this one, the turmeric. And so for here, the Kirkland Signature, which is Costco, Morton & Bassett, McCormick, as well as LaFleur, all of these, LaFleur just needs to just close up shop. They just need to turn themselves into something like tire cleaner, because isn't this the second one that has 3? Huh. White pepper is good. All right. Well, you guys, I can't take anymore. I get so burned about this kind of stuff. Because, I know how people are really trying these days to take care of their families and to take care of their health. And don't you know we can take authority over this kind of stuff? Why? Because the Father gave us authority of the garden. He gave us authority. Remember, we read that about 2 months ago. What do we have authority of? He said every beast, everything that creeping and crawling upon the earth, he gave us the authority of. He gave man the authority of all the plants, and we're to till and take care of it. So we do have authority over this situation, right? We do have authority over this. And we need to stand up, and once we begin to pray and lift our voices together, don't you know things will change? And that is how it is for everything. I just got through saying today, I wish that we could find some men that had Deborah's, skill and who had her fire. There's a lot of us women who do, but I would like to see everybody stand up and do what we need to do to end all of this stuff that's going on right now. I do believe that it is the believer's responsibility to do our due diligence. Hallelujah. Before we leave, I don't want anybody to feel like they were not noticed. I'm going to click through some of your questions and then we're going to get off. Okay, thank you for that. Robert Stahl, how are you? Okay, the Brian Boreal paradox persists. Think of 9/11, 1618. Fauci's mom family buries entire town by caving in talc mine. This begat the Silk Road. Evolution is change. Whew! Robert, you always have such great information. Deb Woods, it's good to see you. They spray all these heavy metals on us to combat climate change, and that's a lie. They're not doing it. They're tripping. They're just tripping. Nunya Beeswax. So what company spices were the ones that these were found in? And I hope you were still here, Nunya Beeswax, when we were able to uncover those. Yes, I am busy. I'm trying to get every one of the channels some love, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm everywhere today. So we have 6 uploads, to your point, Steve Willis. We've got about 6 uploads on TLP, Headlines with a Voice for the News. But that channel is so small, I wanted more people to know this. And I felt like to put it over there would be a terrible disservice because we've only got about 300 subs over there, and no one would see it. But this needed to be seen, Steve. So that's why I am busy. I'm bringing it over here because we all need to be able to see this and we all need to be able to stand against it. Write those companies, get that link down below and let people know that you're not buying their stuff anymore. I know when we're done here, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, at Rebecca 1965. Hi, I see you guys are all loving on one another. Rebecca says she used them all. Hey, D. Harris, girl, how have you been? It is so good to see you. Okay, it's good to see you, Joy Trujillo. It's good to see you. Mars Fool's Gold, how are you? Please give me a call, Mars Fool's Gold. I love you, and it's good to see you here in the chat today. They give us GMO garbage, and then they tell us to worry about spices. Seriously? But that's a shame because I'm going to tell you, everything I cook, I use spices in them. I don't like to use a lot of salt. I believe that salt is something you should use as you go, and you use it for whom you are. So if you come to my house to eat, it's not going to have salt. You salt it to your taste, right? So yes, I have a lot of these flavors in the food. Marsville Gold, I did send you an email with my phone number in it, so give me a call at your convenience. So yeah, so now Crystal Wilson says, you'll often find these types of metals in food and food products, but it's the quantity that's discovered that can be concerning. Absolutely. Purchase your local fresh provider. Purchase from your local provider. That's good, Hippocrates Matrix. That's very good. Too bad the FDA is too busy taking cover for the Nunya Beeswax, you are too much. Deb Wood says, yeah, you can't even trust the organic because the soil is contaminated everywhere. I'm going to be honest with you, Deb Woods. You guys may have to spank me on my hand, tap me on my hand, bad girl, because here's what I'm going to say. I don't even believe half the stuff that they're selling us that says it's organic is organic anymore after this story. I'll just tell you the truth. Find yourself a local farmer's market and know the people, or do it yourself. That's the reason why a lot of us that are over 55, between 55 and 60, like I am myself, are finding these weird things going on with our bodies, right? That's what I think. Rosalind says, this is why I only buy from parties that third-party test. Very good idea. You guys see what Rosalind said? She only buys from those who third-party test. Good girl, smart, and thank you for that tip. Robert M. Stahl says, fluoride in ocean, aluminum in the air. Mary Greeley News just found out. Man just created 4.0 earthquakes on the Madrid fault. Oh, what? Of course, Walmart, right, D. Harris? Trader Joe's, okay. Can you believe it? Trader. I like that, Trader. Fluoride in the water, probably in the ocean too, you never know. Crystal says, I'm not saying that it's normal that these things are in everyday foods, but studies show that they are almost always there in traces. But when they're in large amounts showing, that's even worse. Absolutely. Melinda Ann, it's good to see you today. It is terrible, right? It's terrible. Okay, folks, it looks like I'm almost done. Wow, that's horrible. I hope I don't have these spices. Well, take a look at that link down below and see. Okay, take a look at that link down below and click it where you can find it. Thank you for all this information. By the way, you're so welcome. It just alarmed me, you guys. Didn't mean to startle anybody and say, hey, here's another alert, because I think I've been on since what, 9 this morning. And so I've been finding stuff, and people have been sending exceptional things. As a matter of fact, what's on TLP Headlines with a Voice right now is all sent to us by subscribers who have sent exceptional information. And if you want something to be said or spoken on, please send it to Felicia at FeliciaLockhart.com. And that's what they've been doing. That's how we all have this great information to share. Okay, yes, it would also be a great thing. Chris is right. You see what Chris said? Chris said, class action lawsuit would be a good thing. Yeah. And you know what? We already know that we would not receive a lot from a class action lawsuit, Chris. But to his point, it would definitely make them stand up and notice that we are paying attention. And even that, because you're only going to get, 50 cents? How many people have had the opportunity to get the monies that came back from Wells Fargo? I had a business back when they were cheating people, and I think they sent me a $35 check and maybe a $20 check. So you already know you're not going to get much, but to Chris's point, I do believe that would wake a lot of people up. Thang Meisters, how are you today? It's so good to see you. Raw is the best. Fruit and berries and melons will cure disease and that they create. Absolutely. But now it looks like you're going to have to grow your own. You can't find the cure. Chow chow, cabbage, green tomatoes, and so on. Preserved yet not sugared. Very good. Thanks so much. You're welcome. I missed the beginning. I'm sorry, Susie. How are you? Some of you have been leaving messages, and for whatever reason, they're not posting your messages. For whatever reason, they're not posting your messages. And on some of the channels, I'm not seeing anything. However, the way that I know is until they change it, because they will after they hear this. They send out an email that says this person made a comment, so I can see it there, but I cannot see it on this side. No one is ignoring you guys. We love everybody here from the Lockhart perspective. Headlines with a Voice, TLP, Headlines with a Voice. We want you all to know that we do see your messages, but there is some interference, okay? Pray over your food and drink. Ask the Father to make it suitable to your being and your being suitable to his service. Thank you, Fang. Okay, you guys, I love all of you. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I see a load of us have already left. We only have 114 that's here right now. And so I don't want to belabor the time. Trudy, Joy Trujillo says, hang dry. Yes. Okay. Very good. All right, you guys, you remember what we always say on the Lockhart perspective, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys, until we see each other again, hopefully you guys will be with us tomorrow as we conclude this week of the Fifi's Coffee and Jazz, because it's only a short series. So after a few weeks, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back to see how you all liked it. But with that in mind, we'll see you tomorrow. You guys continue to take care of yourselves and to continue to take care of one another is my prayer for all of you. You guys take care. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way, helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Like our perspective.
I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe.
Lack of perspective.